Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack a seriously eerie theory that connects 6,000-year-old Sumerian clay tablets right to modern satellite data from the European Space Agency. We're diving into a fascinating and honestly kind of unsettling alignment between ancient mythology and today's cutting-edge geophysical science. It's a journey that's going to take us from the literal cradle of civilization all the way up to the massive magnetic anomalies happening deep beneath our feet right this very second.
Okay, let's just jump right in with one single, highly significant number, 3,600. Now, at first glance, it just seems like a totally random figure, right? But as we comb through the source material today, you'll see exactly why this specific number acts like a ticking clock echoing through the millennia. It's a number that somehow bridges the gap between ancient prophecies of doom and literal, measurable cycles in Earth's climate and magnetic field.
Section 1. The Ancient Cosmic Countdown. To really get why this number acts as a cosmic timer, we have to look at the bizarrely advanced astronomical math of the ancient Sumerians.
Think about this for a second. We're talking about a civilization that emerged way back around 4000 BCE in Mesopotamia. Yet, they used a base 60 math system, which is actually the exact reason why you and I still have 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and 360 degrees in a circle today. This sexagesimal system was insanely versatile. Because 60 is divisible by so many smaller numbers, it let the Sumerians calculate complex fractions and massive multiplications without calculators. They essentially hardwired our modern concept of time and geometry.
And the feats they pulled off with that math are absolutely staggering. Our sources show these ancient astronomer priests recorded hyper-accurate measurements of the cosmos directly onto wet clay tablets, without a single modern instrument. They conceptualized spherical astronomy, fully predicting solar and lunar eclipses. But the most mind-blowing part? They understood planetary precession. That's the incredibly slow wobble of the Earth on its axis that takes 25,920 years to complete just one cycle. Observing even 1 degree of that shift takes an entire human lifetime of 72 years. How on earth they track that over generations is still a profound mystery.
So the absolutely crucial point here is how they used this math to measure what they called the Shar. This was a 3,600-year cosmic cycle they genuinely believed governed the ultimate fate of humanity. In their language, a Shar wasn't just some mathematical value, it denoted a perfect circle, a fully completed orbital cycle of supreme importance. It was quite literally the cosmic yardstick by which they measured the periods between catastrophic resets of civilization.
Section 2. The Trigger. Planet Nibiru. So, what actually kicks off this massive countdown according to these ancient texts? Let's take a look. You see, the Sumerians didn't just believe in abstract time. They tied this cycle to a physical object in the heavens. Researchers analyzing the Sumerian king list and creation epics theorized that the Shar actually represents the orbital return of a rogue planetary force. The Sumerians called it Nibiru, the Babylonians later called it Marduk. According to these texts, this isn't a normal planet hanging out in the inner solar system. It's described as having a massive, highly elongated orbit that takes exactly one Shar, 3,600 years, to loop back around our sun. And the ancient scribes rigorously documented its terrifying approach. The Babylonians literally recorded omens of a, quote, great star whose color is red like copper. They firmly believed that every time this massive gravitational body crossed our orbital plane, its immense pull just wreaked total havoc on Earth, causing devastating winds, severe droughts, and enormous civilization-ending floods.
Section 3. A 3,600-year cycle. If this cycle of catastrophes is a real physical phenomenon, it should definitely leave undeniable geological footprints on Earth.
We shouldn't just have to take ancient mythology's word for it, right? And, well, independent researchers have overlaid geological and historical chronologies, and they've found massive Earth anomalies that exactly pace out this time frame. Around 10,800 BCE, bam, the Younger Dryas hits, a sudden, massive global cooling event. Fast forward to 3,600 BCE, we get the Pior Oscillation, more abrupt cooling, the rapid desertification of the Sahara, and massive anomalies in the Dead Sea. Jump forward one more time to around 60 CE, and we see bizarre seismic storms and a huge peak in recorded comet showers.
When you actually run the numbers, it gets kinda spooky. Strikingly, dividing the time between the Younger Dryas and the Roman comet peak yields an average cycle that perfectly mirrors the legendary Sumerian Shar. Basically, take that roughly 10,860-year time span, divide it by 3 distinct cycles, and you get an average of about 3,620 years. That is a stunning mathematical alignment with the 3,600-year myth of Nibiru's return.
Section 4. Modern magnetic warning signs. Which brings us right to the present day, where modern science is detecting some deeply unsettling shifts in our planet's geophysical state.
If a massive celestial body really were approaching, ancient texts suggest it would first manifest as a disruption of Earth's magnetic forces. Well, according to recent peer-reviewed data from the European Space Agency's swarm satellites, Earth's protective magnetic shield is weakening rapidly. The South Atlantic anomaly, a huge weak spot in our magnetic field, has grown by an area half the size of Europe just since 2014. Our magnetic field is fading 10 times faster than scientists previously estimated, all driven by highly unusual turbulent activity deep inside Earth's molten core.
And it's not just weakening, folks. The magnetic North Pole is literally lurching erratically away from Canada and bolting towards Siberia. The magnetic region over Canada has actually shrunk by an area the size of India, while the Siberian field is expanding aggressively. It's moving so unbelievably fast that geophysicists had to issue an out-of-cycle emergency update to the World Magnetic Model. That's the model that underpins everything from military navigation to the GPS tracking right there on your smartphone.
780,000. That is the exact number of years since Earth's last full magnetic pole reversal. Now, why does that matter? Because this is an event that usually happens every 300,000 years, meaning we are vastly, and I mean vastly, overdue for a massive shift. The last time the North and South poles completely flipped, humans as we know them barely even existed. The fact that our field is weakening and skittering so rapidly right now strongly suggests we are entering another reversal event.
Section 5, our final hour. So, how do we connect the dots between these modern magnetic anomalies and those ancient Sumerian warnings?
Now, we're certainly not taking sides on the apocalypse here, but we are impartially mapping out the facts, and there is a fascinating alignment between ancient omens of atmospheric disruption and today's satellite data. The Sumerians documented an approaching force that messed with the Earth before it even arrived, causing tempests, an evil wind, and celestial disruptions. Today, without an obvious internal cause, the Earth's core is behaving completely erratically, causing our magnetic shield to thin, which actively lets in more cosmic radiation. It's an eerie modern echo of that ancient evil wind.
When such bodies appear, they foretell great droughts, followed by enormous floods. The source material ultimately begs the question, could an incoming gravitational force, tracked meticulously on 6,000-year-old clay tablets, be the external trigger causing our core to shift right now? Is it possible that the turbulent changes the ESA is tracking aren't just random, but are being triggered by the pull of a massive body on a 3,600-year orbit, a cycle mapped by the very first civilization on Earth?
Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to take away from this explainer today. Did a 6,000-year-old civilization accurately predict the timeline of our final hour? Just think about it for a second. The ancient math perfectly matches the geological history, and the geological history aligns flawlessly with modern satellite data. It's a gripping reminder that sometimes the answers to our future might literally be carved into the clay of our distant past. Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating alignment with me today. Keep asking questions, keep looking at the data, and keep your eyes on the skies.